Hope you guys are having a great day. Um, hey, Facebook. Hey, Instagram. Hey, YouTube, wherever you tuning in from. Hey, Chantel McKenzie personal page. Hey, Power Network page. I wanted to come in today and continue the conversation I started yesterday. So yesterday's Brand Builder Talk was about breaking through the noise. And if you can't tell, I have been preparing the content for the latest Brand Builder Masterclass because the rules of engagement and the curriculum that I've taught for the last few years a lot of it has completely changed, and some of it just requires updating to reflect the current state of things. And one of the things that wasn't in the original curriculum was TikTok, because it wasn't a thing as it relates to brand building for businesses. And it wasn't a thing. Well, first of all, it was called Musically, if you remember, and it was really a lip sync app that mostly kids were using, and a few entertainers to play with songs and voiceovers. And then in walks the great Tabitha Brown. I saw an article recently calling her our guiding light. And she is driving Uber one day as she pursues her dreams in Hollywood of becoming a star. And during that time, she is a vegan and she eats a TTLA sandwich. I am not a vegan. I'm gonna be honest. To this day, I'm gonna have to Google that. I do not know what TTLA is, but whatever it was, some type of meat substitute sandwich. And in doing that, she went live as her authentic self, which that's how we all should show up when branding, in the world, period. Not even just when branding. Your brand is who you are. So hopefully who you are is your authentic self. Hopefully you are brave enough and you feel safe enough and courageous enough to show up as your authentic self. And that's exactly what she did. And that video went viral, ended up with well over 1 million views, and the rest is history. I mean, from that, people started following her pages. She was able to create her own brand across social media that eventually landed her a contract with McCormick, and her seasoning sold out like that. And then it landed her book, which is now on the New York Times bestseller list, Feeding the Soul. Highly recommend. And Kimberly Locke is doing a book club on that on Clubhouse on Wednesday nights at 7:30. So definitely, if you want to be a part of that discussion, I recommend it. And the rest is history. But it all started on TikTok. And that's why I was like, I had to play on my whole 90s teenage vibe. Because as I was saying, TikTok, every time I say TikTok, all I hear is, ooh, TikTok, you don't stop. Okay, I'm not going to rap for y'all or sing. I just did, but I'm not going to do it anymore. So anyway, that's what I hear when I say TikTok. But, for the last couple of years, I've honestly, few years, even before it was TikTok, when it was still Musically, I've watched my daughters and my sons walk around making these TikToks. And I thought it was cute, especially my youngest daughter. She had her little dances and her transitions. And I was like, this is cute. And I had a TikTok account really just to follow them, just to monitor them, to make sure that they weren't posting anything inappropriately, to make sure that no one inappropriate was accessing their pages, doing what parents do, adulting. And then it dawned on me as I watched it evolve that TikTok was able to do so much more than what I had originally given it credit for. And I originally thought of it as a place where Gen Xers and younger play. And I can use Beyonce's voice. I can find a speech. I can use President Obama's voice. I can use my own voice. I can do these transitions. Like I posted one this morning as I was getting my makeup done for the filming that I had today for work. And, just as I play with it more and more, I see the potential. And the reason I had to stop ignoring it, it's similar to why so many businesses needed to stop ignoring Instagram and LinkedIn, is because it's got over 1 billion users. So if there's 1 billion people sitting on TikTok right now, those are 1 billion users that you could be introducing your brand to in a very creative way. Every platform has a different vibe. And so Facebook is the everything platform. It can be your personal space. It can be your professional space. It's you can share pictures, you can share videos, you can share links. Facebook is business agnostic, meaning every type of business you have is appropriate to land there. And also through Facebook groups, it's a place to create community. And then also, though, Facebook is a place that you pay to play. And so if you have just a regular business page, you need to pay to boost those ads, or you need to pay to promote that page. Or unless you have a really, 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 like, unless you got a beehive, like you Beyonce, nobody's going to really see what you're doing, because they on purpose have made the algorithm prioritize business pages last and like pages last, because they want you to pay to play. That's how they make money. So that's Facebook. Then you have Instagram, owned by Facebook, that is really great for lifestyle brands and creatives and places that you're willing to create aesthetics. And so Instagram it's not as business agnostic as Facebook. I think that it's great for retailers. It's great for makeup artists. It's great for hairstylists. It's great. It's great for everybody, but your content needs to be aesthetically pleasing. It needs to be creative. It needs to be clear and concise. I mean, it has a lot of really cool features. We've got the grid. Right now, I'm live on Instagram talking to you. At the same time, I'm live on Facebook and YouTube, using StreamYard to do that. Shane, just giving you some free game on that. And you can make reels, which I enjoy making reels to chronicle my workout journey and to do things with my kids. I haven't gotten into the TikTok nor the reels where I'm pointing at letters like, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this. Like, I'm a kind of a super busy person, so that takes time. But I promoted my 9-year-old. I told her that her job at the Power Network is she is the TikTok manager. And she corrected me and said, no, I am the TikTok guru. So she gave herself a title, because I'm not raising shrinking violets around here, obviously. They are leaders and future moguls. And so with that, you're going to see some more creative content, because it's really about the transference of generational wealth, if you want to be honest. If I'm being honest about why I pull my kids into so many opportunities. They have so many gifts and talents. They're so intelligent. And so why not teach them young? My parents did this for me, and give them opportunities at a young age to pull them in. So that's Facebook's game. Then you have LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where it's like your professional dossier. It's where you list your professional accolades. It's really meant for B2B. So B2B is business to business. Facebook is B2C or B2B. So Facebook, I can talk to consumers, I can talk to businesses, I can talk to organizations. When I'm posting on LinkedIn, every once in a while, like when my son left for college, I posted there because to me that went with my brand. It was on brand for me to be sending this kid off to college, and the caption that I wrote, because I know how to write copy, it all worked where I could post a personal picture of him leaving and it be on brand. But I get a little worried when I see people using LinkedIn in a similar fashion to Instagram and Facebook, because that's not what it's really for. It's a space for a digital resume. It's a space for businesses and professionals to find you and for you to connect with other businesses and professionals. It's really a digital networking platform. Individuals can find jobs, and you really can post about your professional accomplishments in a space that was created for you to post about your professional accomplishments. So it's just, and the other cool thing about LinkedIn, it doesn't have all the algorithm restrictions that Facebook and Instagram have. So you really can get a lot of lift through hashtags there that you can no longer get on Facebook. Also, your first, second, third level connections can see comments and things that you're posting. And now you can go live on LinkedIn. And so there's a lot of different things you can do on LinkedIn now, and it is becoming a lot more prevalent in the business world. But I would say if you're going to think about it, think of it as B2B, like this, you're a business talking to a business, meaning even if you're an employee, you are talking to potential employers or you are talking to your current employer, or you are talking to potential mentors or leaders, or you're talking to colleagues. So you should be positioning yourself professionally on LinkedIn. That is the point. Then we get to, well, I could say we get to Snapchat, but if you look at its current valuations, Instagram came in with all the same features to compete, and you don't really hear nobody talk about Snapchat no more. So, boom, we're just gonna throw that one out. So then, last but certainly not least, the title of the video is TikTok. TikTok, you don't stop. TikTok is business agnostic, so meaning like everybody can play on TikTok. It does have a lot of cool creative features where you can be funny and show personality, but you also can be serious, where you can add different pieces and really diversify your content and clarify your brand through these short video snippets. And then, like I said at the beginning of this, there's a billion users. I mean, any place that a billion people are sitting, I need to be there. The other piece of it is that it's got star power. You know, I talked about Tabitha Brown and how her big break came through TikTok. Like, people are, I mean, Lil Nas X, his big break came through TikTok. Like, the ability to go viral on TikTok is similar to the ability to go viral on Reels, because Facebook is prioritizing Reels on Instagram and on Facebook. And so because it is the hot trending thing to do these little vignettes of videos, 15, 30 seconds, et cetera, 60 seconds max, you know, if you're in a story, it's cool to do, and it's fun to play with. And it's something that I would encourage entrepreneurs to add to their tool belt, because it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. You do, yep. You ask the kids, Patrice, because they're the ones that will teach you how to use TikTok. And then Google, YouTube University, Google University. I mean, honestly, like, I'm not even gonna lie. Making a little transition video this morning, I had my 9-year-old show me before she left for school this morning. I told her what I wanted to do, and I had her show me, and I still was like, I cannot figure out how to merge these two videos. And so what I did is I went to an app that I use often called InShot. It's a video app. And I made the whole video on InShot, and then I uploaded the video into TikTok, and then I added the sound. Boom. Use what you know. So I am the queen of combining apps to get to the end result. And so that's really what I had to do. The other thing is like pop culture lives there. I mean, if you look through TikTok, like it is like you can find, I mean, think about from every challenge, you know, I mean, look at what it's doing for songs. Look at what it's doing. You know, all y'all was doing that. I don't remember the rest of it. And then it was like the I'm a Savage, classy, bougie. Yeah, I don't know. My kids know them. And then it seems like a lot of work. Social media is a lot of work. Managing your social media is a lot of work. TikTok is no more work than managing your social media on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. They're all a lot of work. Just the end game to do it is different. And I stopped saying that the actual act of doing it is a lot of work, because like I said, my 9-year-old does it in 2 seconds. So we're professionals that own companies and that brand to individuals. So it's really a matter of planning it out, strategizing it, and we won't ever have time to do it. It's making the time to do it because you decide that it is something that will be of value to your business. So that is the clearest thing I'll say about it. But if you look through it, I mean, so I was talking about the dances. So, you know, you had Savage Dance, you had the blah, 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 blah. Then you had the beatbox challenge. Like, songs are really like becoming hits based on like my kids will sing a 90s song. Like, they love Chris Brown, Excuse Me Miss. That's not a 90s song, it's a 2000 song. But they'll sing I Get So Weak by SWV. And I'm like, how do you know that song? And they're like, TikTok. You know, and so like the power of it. And if you create a sound or a sound bite or a voiceover or a speech, I recently did one with a part of Snoop Dogg's speech when he got his star on the Walk of Fame, when he said, I want to thank me. I want to thank me for all my hard work. I want to thank me for staying up all night. I want to thank me for believing in me, because I just thought it was hilarious and so authentic to Snoop Dogg. And so I used that as a voiceover. And the interesting thing is, you know, watching the analytics, Thank you. Is watching the analytics as individuals watch your TikTok, your reels, etc. Like pay attention to your numbers. Now, here's the thing. I just ran through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. Last would be YouTube. Hey, sister. Last would be YouTube. Definitely, YouTube is owned by Google. So YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And YouTube is great for SEO. All of these are great for SEO. That's search engine optimization. So we can't think of social media as social media anymore. We have to think of social media as the internet. It's not just social media anymore. It's not this encapsulated space that's like this private world or this gated community. It is now when someone Googles you, what comes up first in the search is typically your social media pages. And I know some people are like, well, I don't have a social media page, or I'm not on, or I'm not doing this. And it's like, well, you still brand building. Even by your brand is who you are. So if who you are is somebody who is adverse to social media, then that's part of who you are. And I would say and I would say you don't need to, like Patrice, you just said, you need to learn TikTok. Not necessarily. If your audience doesn't live there, I mean, a billion other people do. But if your target audience doesn't live on TikTok, then why do you need to learn TikTok? I would say the most important thing is master 2 social media channels at best. 2. Oh, I didn't mention Twitter. Twitter's still important. Thought leaders live on Twitter. Great for the news, great for breaking news, great for short, thought-provoking bites of knowledge. So don't miss Twitter, and they've added some things too. And so don't miss that. Hey, you, thank you for my hair. Yeah, don't miss Twitter too. But I would say none of us can be all things to all of these social media channels. And so you need to find out where your audience lives first and foremost, and you need to live there the most. And so I know for me, my woman, because it's mostly women that follow me, is between 35 and 55 and spends a majority of her time on Facebook. And then her secondary would be on Instagram. So that's my individual. If I'm doing B2C marketing, business to consumer, if I'm doing individual coaching, if I'm talking specifically to a small to medium business owner. However, my corporate client may live on Facebook because we may just be personal Facebook friends, maybe on Facebook and see my page because I'm boosting ads, I'm promoting the page, I'm making sure that I'm in your timeline, I'm budgeting for that each and every month. But they are definitely on LinkedIn. And so I got to keep my LinkedIn active. So for me, I got to be on all 3 because there are executives and there are C-suite individuals. For those of you that don't know what that means, that means they got a C in the front of their title: CEO, CIO, CMO, COO. And so because I also do businesses, a Fortune 100 company just left my house for filming a promo for me. That's going to be introing before the live speaking engagement I'm doing for them next week. And so look, I had to pause because I've said that like I'm all cool and stuff, but I'm like, yo, a Fortune 100 company just left my house and with their film crew and came to film my intro for a speaking engagement that I'm doing for them next week. And so how do you find out what social media platform your target audience is on? Again, look at your analytics. First of all, you need to figure out who your target audience is. You need to figure out who you want it to be for yourself, but then also you need to look at your pages and see who's looking at them the most. So you can look by post at your analytics. So you can download the Facebook business app, or you can, if your Instagram page is a business page, then you can look at your professional dashboard and you can see what state they're in, how old they are, what their gender is. And so, some of it will build organically, but some of it you curate and cultivate and you decide. So you decide who you want it to be. And then if you decide at a broader range who you want it to be, then you can easily Google who uses TikTok the most, all of these reports. There's people pulling these, there's data scientists pulling these analytics each and every day, all the time. So it's out there. And so that's how you find out what platform that they're on, and you pay attention. And a lot of it is you spend time on it. I mean, for me, it's easy for me because the Power Network page. So you've got a 5,000 max friend capacity on your personal Facebook page. So let's just start there. You only can reach 5,000 people there. However, those 5,000 people a lot of them know you personally. We live in a world of reputation and referral. And so reputations a lot of times do come through people you know personally. And then also you need that page too. And the more people you have, when you have an event on your business page or when you're trying to do an ad on your business page, then you've got more people to select because you've got this huge amassed friend space. Now, remember now, if you do that and you make your page mostly public and you add all of these people, when you're doing things like a live video, like I'm doing today, you may want to stay on brand because now you're not just talking to your cousin Pookie and your grandma and your auntie and them, you're talking to the whole world. Like potentially right now, a CEO, CMO, somebody could go back and either be watching this live or the playback. And so I don't worry about it because I show up authentically, shine everywhere I go. So me cracking jokes, me being silly, me being funny, doesn't make me any less professional. I work for me, makes me real, makes me human. And here's the thing. I said this yesterday and I will keep repeating this. Humans are so busy trying to become brands when a brand's ultimate goal is to be human. They are trying to humanize all the messaging because by being human, they tap into the parts of our brain that drive our emotions, and most of our purchases are emotionally driven. We do business with who we know, like, and trust. We shop at places we know, like, and trust. We get like that's a whole nother thing. So, like I said, I'm about to put out. There's a brand builder masterclass coming up. It's going to happen in December, probably the second week in December. And it is going to be just, it's only going to be $49. It's usually $100 a student. I just decided 2020 and 2021 played so many of us that I wanted to offer it at a discounted rate. And we're going to spend time busting this down because we need to get ready for what 2022 brings. Like the world has changed tremendously. And a lot of it was changing and evolving anyway, but then COVID put it on hyperdrive. And so it's like, what are you going to do to keep up? What are you going to do to break through the noise? I used to say that content is king. I used to say content is king and consistency was queen. I've switched that now to say content is important. Don't get it twisted. You need good content, but clarity, people being able to clearly and concisely understand what it is you do and the value that you bring into their lives is what's most important. And then after that, the queen is still consistency because you need to have a clear vision and a clear message that you're putting out on a regular basis because you cannot assume that someone saw your last post, especially with the algorithm. We don't control the algorithm. We don't control what it allows people to see. And so we have to do our part. And the more consistent you are and the more activity you get, the more news feeds you show up in. So it's a win-win for everybody across all the platforms. That's a true statement. So yeah, that's what I have to say to you today. So TikTok, you don't stop. If you don't know TikTok, it's time to learn it. The Brand Builder Masterclass, we'll get into it. And if for nothing else, even if your target audience does not live there, like I said, 1 billion people do. And so, and those billion people that live there, so TikTok and YouTube are where young people spend a majority of their time. My kids can like, I cut the cable off. As long as the internet working, we good. Because all they need are TikTok and YouTube. Because they will watch YouTube like it's the television on the iPad. Every once in a while they might want to watch Netflix, Disney Plus, all that. But if I took all of the apps away, as long as they had TikTok and YouTube, both of which are accessible for free for them, they Gucci. And so that's the other piece. And then the last thing, I just want to remind you to be you, to show up as your authentic self. I show up as Sean everywhere I go. So then I don't have to worry about what I said, how I acted, what I did, because people know I'm high energy. I'm professional. I don't hide my nerdiness. I love tech stuff. I love early innovation. I love understanding the ins and outs of all of the different aspects that impact my business. I love tech. I'm an engineer by education. And so all of those things make me me, and our brand is defined as who we are. And so that's your superpower. That's what makes you you. And guess what? There's not another you in the world. So imagine if we all showed up every day moving in our superpower. Like how dope would the world be? The world don't need another him or her. The world needs you, all of you, authentic you. That's what they need on TikTok. That's what they need on Facebook. That's what they need on Instagram. That's what they need on LinkedIn. Because when you do that, When you are brave enough to show up as your most authentic self, that's when things change. That's when the magic happens. That's when we improve the world around us and make it a better place. All right. You guys have an absolutely amazing and powerful weekend. For those business owners out there watching this, don't be so busy working in the business that you don't make time to work on the business, especially as we drive towards the end of fourth quarter. It's so important that you set goals for next year, monetary goals, client reach goals, employee goals, partnership goals, collaboration goals, do some stretch goals, figure out what you want to do, how you want to grow. Anything that's not growing is dying. And I have no plans to die physically or professionally anytime soon. So get out here and get it. There's so much available. So much, 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 so much. You know what? I'm going to end this with the crayon case. The crayon case, started by Supercent. That's her Instagram name. She was a single mother, a waitress in New Orleans, had this idea to start this makeup line. But before she did that, she actually was known for these comedic viral videos. So she already had this following. And so she was like, well, how can I leverage this following? And she knew she liked makeup. So she leveraged it by sourcing a really unique idea called Crayon Case and putting all her makeup into these unique palettes and naming them all these unique things. And within, I don't even think it was 2 years of her launch, she did $1 million in sales in 90 minutes on Cyber Monday. And so broke the news with that. That was like probably 3 years ago. And so now fast forward, you have individuals, if you go in Sephora, there's a brand, I think it's Moschino. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Moschino. Somebody that is not of African American descent, like she is, basically did something very similar, let's just say. And they had enough pull and they had enough backing that they ended up in Sephora. So I'm not saying that's why Oprah did it, but I've met Oprah. I worked there for 2 years. She's very strategic in how she positions people and things. And so the fact that one of Crayon Case's palettes is on her favorite things list this year, I think that was her Black girl nod. You know how we got that Black girl nod? If one of my allies are watching, you may not be familiar with the Black girl nod, but historically speaking, Black women have been the bottom of the food chain and carry the double burden of being Black and a woman. And so there's a, like, Black men have a Black man nod, you know, when they see each other. And so they like, hey, what's up? Like this, brother, I see you, because for years they weren't seen. And Black women, we have this Black girl nod, but it's not a physical nod like our men do. It's a, girl, I got you. Girl, I see you. It's a, hey, girl, hey. It's a, girl, them shoes fly. It's a, you know, we got the, and I think this was Oprah's Black girl, because when you have that amount of influence, I mean, now what happens is because the allies, the individuals that just go through Oprah's favorite things and buy everything, the retailers who decide, I mean, it's like when she picks a book for her book club, the retailers that decide that anything that's on her list is, I mean, I'm going to watch how this brand evolves, because her being on Oprah's favorite things list is definitely about to, I can't imagine how her phone is ringing and the type of interviews that she's getting. I already saw something in Allure. I'm sure we're going to see something like she's going to be on Allure's best seller beauty list next year, right next to Laura Mercier and MAC and all of the other top brands that are mostly owned by the same companies, Estee Lauder, L'Oreal, etc. So she may get bought out. I mean, you think about Drunk Elephant, that's a beauty brand in Sephora. It's a clean brand for skincare, hair care, etc. They got bought by Shiseido out of Asia a few years ago for like, I think it was like 200 and something million or something. It was some astronomical number. I've posted it a million times. I have to look it up again. But yeah, it's just, the possibilities are endless when you have the right person backing you. And she built that brand on Instagram. So that's the point of sharing the story, is that she built her brand, her personal brand and her professional brand on Instagram, and made so much noise with it and garnered so much attention with it that she ended up on Oprah's favorite thing list. So Every time you want to dismiss the power of social media, every time you want to complain about the work, every time you want to not invest, if you don't have time yourself, in a social media management firm or someone or coach that can help you, or even, sometimes we have clients that just hire us to make templates, or to, there's some clients that I do all their posting for them. I will say, you can't just hand it to someone and then say, here, go run with it. Because if your goal is to be a thought leader, and if your goal is to create a brand which reflects your authenticity, I'm me and you. So it's going to have to be a collaborative process. I can't just invent what it is that you think you want to say. I need to understand your heart. A lot of times people are like, why we got to meet so much? Well, I got to get to know you in order to write like you, and in order to adopt your voice. And so anybody who just takes your money and say, yep, I can do it for you, they're not really in it to win it for you, because it's impossible. It's not possible unless you're entrusting them to cultivate and create the voice for you. I mean, there are some people that come to me in the ideation stage, and I'll name it, frame it, and give it to them, and then. But still, I do that based off of doing some strategic planning with them and doing some discovery sessions with them. So it can be, I'm helping them articulate what it is they're endeavoring to do. So super important. All right, y'all. Have a good weekend. That's my last final closing. I'm not a minister, but I sometimes tend to close a few times like they do. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.